What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And we're back today for a little bit of a different video. I did upload a video a couple of weeks ago. I can't even remember what it was. A couple of weeks ago I did upload a potential players video for career mode, which has helped quite a lot of you out really. It's just to see which players are going to be the best players in career mode to get while they're still young or still have a low rating. Today I'm going to be going through some of the tips and tricks for career mode to make sure that you stay a manager, you don't get sacked, and just to take your team to glory, really. Today I've got 6 tips and tricks today for the career mode, FIFA 17 career mode. First tip and trick is to make sure you create more than one team sheet. So as you can see on the screen, I have my Liverpool default team, and that is what you will start out with. So you will start out with your team, you'll be able to click on it, you'll be able to change your players around. But if you notice on the screen now, if you go down to the bottom of the screen there, it says team sheets. If you click on that and then click new team sheet, it will come up with you. You'll be able to create your own team sheet basically. And so I've created a youth team sheet and a second team sheet. All I've done for these is I've basically gone and got the youth players, my younger players, and put them into a squad, and then I've gone and got my second team members and put them into a squad as well. It allows you to frequently just change between different teams. So normally I use this second team for cup matches and the youth team for maybe the pre-season, just to make sure they're going well, going strong, see how each of them plays. And I also use them sometimes for cup matches if it's an easy cup match, so I use that for that. That is the first tip and trick. It will help you out a lot and it will save you a lot of time in career mode. The second tip and trick is to overplay the main players in your club. So for example, I've got Felipe Coutinho here, and as you can see his player demands are £160,000 a week. That is what he wants, that is his demand. He doesn't want any years on his contract, so you can leave that as that, because that's what he wants. You would leave that. I'm not going to obviously updo this one, but let's just say he wants it. So you would overpay him, so I'd probably give him 200 grand a week. And then you want to give him probably a 5% bonus per goal to make sure he stays and make him a crucial team player. That is what you want to do for your main players in your club, to make sure they don't get bored or they don't get unhappy at the club. Yeah, that's basically a way to keep your best players in the club to make sure you take your team to glory. Another thing this year that has made career mode a lot harder in my opinion, and it has made career mode a lot more of a challenge, considering in FIFA 16, if you had the money, you could go out and buy anybody. Not saying you could go and buy Messi and Ronaldo, but you could, if you had enough money, you could buy them, buy different players that would fit into your squad easily. FIFA 17 career mode has made it more of realistic sort of thing, so you've got objectives. Now, the main thing in career mode is to keep an eye on these at all time. If you check these as soon as you start out your career mode, make sure you write them down, something like that. Write down each one, what you're going to do, plan your career mode out as you go along, and it will make things a lot more easier. So for example, on here I've got youth development, so within 2 seasons I have to make at least one player from the youth academy. I have to sign him and he has to play 50% of the games in the next season. So I would make that a crucial thing. I'd sign as many youth players as possible to see which ones are the best. Now the main ones you can see, I've got 3 critical ones here, so you need to make sure you do those as soon as you can basically. So I've got brand exposure. I need to gain 170 million earnings from shirt sales. Currently on 71% for that, so I'm doing alright, I'm on target. That one you can't really do until you get to the finals. You can't really rush that one, but I have to reach the final of the Champions Cup. I have to win the Premier League, and then I have to win the FA Cup. So I haven't done any of those yet because I'm quite early in the season. And finally, I have a low one here, so within 2 seasons, increase the club worth by 10%. Main thing you need to do for this, one of the low ones, they're not as critical as the critical ones, obviously. But just make sure you keep an eye on your objectives at all times. Another thing in tips and tricks is to make sure you pick a good scout. Now, at the start of the career mode, when you begin it, you may get an option to either choose a 5-star scout. Now, your scouts are the ones that go out and search for your players. So as you can see, if I click on the transfers section here, they've gone out and got a load of things. Then you can change the scout instructions. It's not hard. If you go to search players section here, flick across with the right stick, you can see your shortlist, and you've got scout instructions there, the middle one. If you click on that, at the moment I'm looking for a promising striker and a defensive midfielder that is an aerial threat. You can add as many instructions as you want to, and you can also edit the instructions and remove them. Now, say if we go to this new one here, And at the moment, Liverpool are quite bad with a left back or a goalkeeper. So if we look for a centre back, because we're not very good at centre backs, and you can look for aerial threats, and let's go for first team quality. You can change the age of them, so we don't want them too old, so we'll put them down to 27. Contract 5 years, that doesn't really matter. As you can see, it's there. Centre back, aerial threat, first team quality. Now when you do that, your scout will go out and search for players like that, add them to your scouting thing, and you'll get like an email from it saying about the players he's come back with. So make sure you do this before your team starts, because then it saves you again going on FootWiz. Okay, so that makes it a lot easier. Another thing, and this is quite a big thing really, is if you were to sign a player such as, I don't know, say if Dele Alli was up for sale for 15 million, the best thing to do is if I was to go to transfers, I'll go across to my shortlist. Currently on my shortlist I've got Danny Rose, Forsu Mensah, Dele Alli there, Iheanacho and Rashford. So say if I clicked on Dele Alli, if you inquire about him, you will get an email within a few days saying if he's up for sale or not. And that saves you scouting them, and it saves you buying them straight away with a random bit of money. And it gives you quite an idea of how much they will be worth. So if you do that straight away before you sign any player, if you put a scouting network on them, and then if you inquire about them, you will get a little reasonable piece of money. Now the main thing when you get that bit of money, say if Dele Alli was up for 25 million, it's always best to save money by going $1 million less than that, and they will accept it. Sometimes they don't. If it's a youth player and they're up for like 100k or something, and you offer 90k, they will go, no, we want 100k for them. But if it's a big player like Dele Alli, Lionel Messi, someone like that, if you offer $1 million or even $2 million below, $1.5 million, you will actually get that money off and they will accept the offer. Another one, and this is quite an easy one to do really, if you have a PC at all, if you have a decent setup, a laptop, computer, anything, just make sure you check your potential players for any players that you want to bring in that may fit into your team. And the best website for this is FootWiz. It's either FootWiz or Foothead. I prefer to use FootWiz, I don't know why, I just prefer to use it. As you can see guys, I'm currently about to go onto FootWiz right now, so if you go to FootWiz, and it will take you straight to the home page. I've gone straight to the career mode, people, but if you have a look at the top there, it says career, hover over that and click FIFA 17 career mode players, and you'll get yourself to this page right here. When you're at this page, if you find someone you like, so for example Liverpool will need a left back, so if we go to left back, we make sure their rating is currently over 70, but they say if we want a potential of, I don't know, say if we want a potential of over 80, then you just make sure those are okay. Make sure you've got everything you want there. You'll search for your players, you just click search button here. And then as you can see, it searches for the players you want. So currently we've got David Alaba, we've got Jordi Alba, Marcelo, Felipe Luis. They're the main guys. Currently got Alex Sandro, I've currently got in another career mode at the moment. And you can also search for players as well. But the main thing to do is to look at their growth here. So as you can see, there's one here with 7 growth, which is Luke Shaw. He goes from an 81 up to an 88. So that is the main way to look for potential players, is using FootWiz. So if we search for a player, currently in my career mode we've got Amavi. So we search for Amavi, Jordan Amavi comes straight up there. There's his face, beautiful face, 76 rated, and he goes up to an 84, so he's got a growth of 8. It's a great site to search for players. You can see their age, you can see when they join the team, when their contract expires, etc., height, everything. So it shows you everything about each player on this FIFA 16 career mode. And if you have enjoyed the video guys, it's a little bit different, so I hope you really did like it. If you did like it, please drop a like below. Comment down below if there's any video ideas you want me to do. Drop some questions down below as well, because I might be doing a Q&A if I do have enough time. If you enjoyed it, again, drop a like, comment down below, subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you guys in a video very soon. In a bit.